going on, guys? It's Dustin with Family Tree Investing. Anyway, this morning wanted to talk to you about how we bought our first investment property. It was just when we first moved up to Green Bay. We'd only been living here maybe a year or so, and we wanted to buy our first investment property. We looked at duplexes. I had it in my mind that we wanted to buy one, but we ended up settling on a single family house. But the twist was we wanted to house hag it, so we had to buy it and fix it up so that we could eventually rent it out for a profit. So that was the trick, and I'm going to tell you all the details on what we were looking for in a property, how it worked for our family, and eventually bought a place, fixed it up, and turned it into our very first rental property. So here's a story of how we bought our first investment property, a single family house hag. So flashback to 2014, found a perfect single family house, but it needed to meet a few criteria for to actually make it work for our family, because that was number one. We wanted it to work for our family. The first thing we were looking for is that it had enough space. So in our case, something like 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, needed a yard because we had 2 dogs. And if you haven't already seen them, that's Blaze and Maya. And needed a garage. We have winters in Wisconsin. We'd like to at least park 1 car, if not 2, hopefully, in a garage. And a basement, just for storage. Next, had to be in a good neighborhood. Again, family focused. So, couple areas in Green Bay that we wanted to stay away from, but we really knew we wanted to focus on a good area, one where we could see ourselves walking around, talking to our neighbors, stuff like that. Lastly was the price. So again, we were living in this house, but we intend to house hack it in order to eventually rent it out. So the price was a very important part of this. We needed at a price that, after the mortgage, property taxes, insurance, that assuming that we managed it ourselves and everything like that, that we'd still be able to make a profit and cash flow once we rent it out. So again, our main house hack requirements were enough space for our family, a good neighborhood, and a good price. Now we'll talk about the exact property we found. So the first thing we needed to look for in this house is that it worked for our family. So that meant pure just bedroom and bathroom count. In this house that we found, 2 bed, 1 bath, about 950 square feet. So pretty tight for most families, but we didn't have, like I said, we didn't have any kids yet, and we loved just the layout of this place. It also had that full basement that we were looking for, so that was perfect from storage, things like that. The next was a yard. It had a great yard. It sat on like a 1/4 acre, which is pretty big for sitting in the center of Green Bay. So we felt really good about that. We knew we could put a fence on it. It didn't have one. And it also had a good garage. So had a single stall, but a longer driveway. So from that perspective, we really liked it. So there were a couple things that we had to look through though. Number one was some orange shag carpet. So the lady that was living there before us obviously had a taste for orange carpet. We did not, but however, we saw the potential of putting some new flooring in there. It also had some pink tile in the bathroom. Again, not our preference, but that's okay. It can be changed. Anything like that can be changed. As well as some wallpaper. That was a no-brainer. So that was an easy fix, and we knew we could make it our own. So that was a great opportunity in our eyes. Now guys, this house that we were looking at was like about a mile from Lambeau Field. If you know anything about football, you know the Green Bay Packers. You know that Lambeau Field is kind of an iconic stadium, and this place was about a mile from that stadium. So prime location. It was wedged in this nice little neighborhood of single-family houses that have been there since the 50s and the 60s and things like that. So immediately I knew that this was exactly where we wanted to be. So lastly, the numbers. Now, we bought this place for $72,000. As at the time I'm recording this video, it's 2020, and there's no way I could buy a house in that same area for $72,000. So I know what you guys are thinking. That's crazy. I don't find deals like that anywhere around me. But it was an estate sale, and obviously that needed some work to be done, like I mentioned. So all in, after doing those numbers, right? $72,000 purchase price. We put 10% down, and that gave us just about a monthly recurring payment to the bank with, you know, property taxes factored in, insurance factored in, of about $500 per month. Now, we knew at that time when we first bought the place that we could rent that for $750, maybe $800. So right there, we were excited about the prospect of $200, $250, $300 a month in cash flow. And that's all we needed to hear, right? Flash forward, we bought the place 2014. Now it's 2017. We've been living there for a couple years. And throughout those years, we updated this place. Like I mentioned, we saw, you know, we were going to do something with the carpet, the wallpaper, all this. And we did. But with a twist, we did it with our future renter in mind. So what did that mean? So we put in scratch resistant, very tough laminate flooring. It stood up to the test of Blaze and Maya, and all of the foot traffic and stuff like that. Affordable and easy to put in. We did that all ourselves. So that was an easy one. We also did all of the countertops. Again, we didn't do anything like granite, right? You're designing this for a future renter, but we still wanted it to fit our needs. So it was like a textured laminate. Perfectly okay, perfectly met our needs, looked great. Okay, so, and then we got rid of the wallpaper. That was an easy one. Just painted everywhere. We also added new smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors in all the correct areas. So that was a big one. The existing one, there was one smoke detector in the house, and it was like 20 years old when we moved in. I didn't actually know any better when we first moved in. I kind of feel ashamed about that, but soon corrected that after learning a few things about where to put smoke and CO detectors in the house. Flashback to the bathroom there. Also had to add an exhaust fan. Again, I don't know who goes that long without having an exhaust fan in their bathroom. A lot of people say, hey, just you can open a window. Well, it's 0 degrees, it's -10, whatever, in Wisconsin in the winter. Are people going to open the window to exhaust some humidity in their bathroom? Probably not. They're probably just going to deal with it, and your walls and your ceiling will suffer. So we didn't want that. Again, not that hard of fix, and we did it. Again, for our benefit, but also for the future renter in mind. Lastly, forgot to mention, we added a fence because we love our pets. Obviously, like giving them a space to run around and enjoy the outdoors. So your future renters will too, and that's proven true as long as I've been doing this. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and hopefully it gave you some tools or things to use if you're considering on house hacking or even just purchasing your first single family rental. In a coming video, Brittni and I moved out of this single family rental and we purchased an owner-occupied a duplex. So in a coming video, we're going to talk about exactly what we looked for in that place. It'll be very similar to our single family rental, but with a little twist, obviously, because now we're dealing with a 2-unit property. So I look forward to catching you guys on another video, and we'll talk to you soon. Oh, and by the way, like and subscribe this if you wouldn't mind, to let me know that you are enjoying this content. Thanks guys, we'll talk to you soon.